good, boys? Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how I make my loops and my melodies. So basically the beat at the start of the video is the one that I'm going to be breaking down today and showing how I made it from scratch. And if you want any more tutorials such as like mixing drums and how I make my 808 slap, just let me know. Also, I got a new camera, RIP webcam, and yeah, less yappa yappa. Let's get straight into this. Oh, 10 minutes into recording and I'm not recording my screen. Oh my god. So this is the guitar melody on its own. So the way that I make my melodies from scratch tends to kind of be more or less the same. So first of all, I kind of start off with the bass notes. So if you listen to the bass notes, it goes from. So that's basically what I would click in first. And you can basically see that it kind of follows up here as well. So you've got the B and then down to the F. But it doesn't really follow the E there, so it doesn't really matter. And so from this B that I've clicked in for the bass note, I then build a minor triad on that, and I start off all my beats with just a simple minor triad at the start. So that's just a simple minor triad. It's not even different voicing or anything. And then it goes into what is like technically like out of key or whatever. Like the A sharp in this is like out of key, so but it just sounds good. So, and then this third chord is basically just a simple major chord with an E underneath it. So I don't really know what that makes it. I think it might make it like a minor with, it might make it like a minor with like a minor seventh maybe. I don't really know, to be honest.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
It just sounds good. So, and then this last chord isn't even an actual triad. It's just two notes with, or three notes with two repeated notes. And you can tell that I really focus on the bass notes a lot because it does a nice kind of a rundown here if you listen. And then for the last four bars, it's the same chord progression, but I just kind of switched up a few little elements about it. Mainly the top line and the top melody. And that's pretty much how I made the main guitar for this. So next we have like a top line or a lead melody that I played on another nylon guitar. So this is what that sounds like. And yeah, like I said, there's not really too many secrets about this. I just literally use my ears and just click in what notes sound good and where they sound good. One little trick that I used to make this part here is I basically just kind of made a run in like that with the velocities, and it's just a cool way to kind of make it sound more realistic. So another thing I added then is just a low piano, and this is what that sounds like. Just basically following the bass notes of the original chords. And I almost forgot to mention the trumpets. They're from a VST called Spaghetti Western, and this is what they sound like. So now I'm going to show you how I mix all of these and make them sound the way that they do. So if we take a look at the mixer channel here, I don't really have many individual effects on each of the channels. So if we just flick through, there's like maybe one or two max on each channel. I basically select all of the instruments and then I right click here and just route to this track only. So I now have like a sample bus basically, and this is where I put all of my effects and stuff on it. So the first thing that I put on the sample bus is just this saturation plugin, and it just kind of makes everything just sound a little bit better. It doesn't do a whole lot, but it just brings out, like, technically it just brings out like harmonics and stuff like that, but it basically just kind of makes everything sound a bit crispier basically. And then secondly, I just have a simple EQ, just taking out the low end so it doesn't clash with the bass or the 808 or whatever it is, and then just bringing up a little bit at 5000 hertz. And then obviously you already know I've got some RC20 on there to just give it that kind of a wobble effect. These are my exact settings. It's a weird one, like I don't see many people actually using these exact settings where it's like you're kind of more on like the flutter side rather than the wow. Especially for like Spanish guitar, it sounds really good. So this is what it sounds like with and without all the effects. you can already kind of hear like there's a lot of unnecessary low end, especially in the pluck of the strings and all that. So this is what it sounds like with the effects on then. Just basically cleans it up a little bit and just kind of gives it a cool effect. And while we're on the topic of sample buses and all that, this is a cool kind of trick that I learned from Prod by Jack, so shout out Prod by Jack. I doubt he's watching, but shout out him. So he basically uses a sound shifter from Waves, and it's just like, it kind of refreshes your ears. So like if you're just listening to the same key over and over again, if you just slap this on and just bring it down or bring it up a key, it'll really just freshen up your ear, and you'll be able to kind of hear different things that you wouldn't have been able to hear like prior to that, because your ears are just so accustomed to the key that you were listening in. But once you shift the key, your ears are just like a little bit fresher basically. It's a weird trick, so shout out Prod by Jack. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I actually do when I'm making loops and melodies. I just kind of start off with the chords and then build from that. So yeah, if you want me to do like a drum tutorial next, like how I mix my drums, how I get my 808s to slap and all that, I will gladly do that. Just let me know. Here's what the drums actually sound like on this track, by the way. Link in the bio for my drum kit, by the way. Yeah, I will gladly drop a tutorial on that as well, so just let me know. This is definitely kind of a shorter tutorial because, to be honest, I don't really have much that I actually do when it comes to the samples and melodies and stuff. I just literally use my ear for most of it. So if I was to say, oh, I do this 4/5/73 chord progression, I would be lying, because I don't really know what I'm doing half the time. I just literally use my fucking ear. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, leave a like, drop a little comment, let me know what I should do next. Let me know if I missed anything. I probably did, let's be real. But yeah, thank you for watching. It has been a pleasure as always. I'll see you boys later.
She keep it in my line. Yeah, she bad, but she want me all the time. Shawty keep on having them mood swings. Had to kick her like Luke Cage. So down you go. Do she wanna be mine? Cause I feel like she wanna keep me on the side. So I did her what I do say. I got rich and got a new chain. Now she fucking on me. Yeah, it's funny cause I know she didn't want me. Now she fucking on me. Now that shawty, she can't get a thing from me. Now she's all on IG, tryna show a nigga she free. 10K views, but ain't none of them me. Got a new babe, now you full of envy. Didn't wanna see me win, and you tried to end me, yeah. I just got a new bitch. I just got rich and then my mood switched. Got her shawty naked in my new whip.